Welcome back from that short commercial break. You are still watching Her Moments, and I am Asha Kulsum. Our guest is still Nataliey Bitature, many people's favorite. I may say, she has held the Ugandan banner and flag for two different countries. I mean, as the youngest successful women, why not? Why wouldn't we be happy? And of course, here at Her Moment, we help lift another. This is a female show where any female out there can lift the girls. And before we went for that short commercial break, she was talking about how we can make, or how we're going to pave way for the next, I cannot say female, for the next girls generation. And here we go. These are the females in the business industry who are trying to make it easy for us, easy for our kids to find things easier for them to go. Well, we're talking about women's domination in the business industry. And you talked about getting tough, because literally a woman was known to be that successful if they went to or if they put on the shoes of that man. That means you have to dress like a man, you have to act like a man, talk literally like a man. Someone who has known you or who has been following you on your social media handles, they'll think it also gets hard for you, or sometimes you put yourself in a position where you are not supposed to. What are some of these challenges you face in this industry, in your business? Like sometimes you sit down and you're like, oh, I'm tired for now, I need to rest.
Of course. And especially being a young woman in the industry that I had to work in. So when I first moved back, I first worked in construction. This is where my father dropped me and said, figure it out. And that was incredibly challenging. And I grew up in a society or like a school community where girls were treated like boys. I'd never been discriminated at school or treated in a different way. Because I was a girl, I wasn't allowed to do something or say something. It just didn't make sense to me. So to have to work in construction in Uganda, as my first job when I got back, it was so shocking. No one takes you seriously. Everyone was making fun of me, mimicking me on the site, not understanding what I'm saying. It was a very difficult time for me. And it's easy to be like, oh my goodness, I can't do this and just give up. But that's not an option. Because my dad always taught us you have to figure it out. You have to solve the challenge, find a solution. Don't come crying to him, I can't do it. So I had to get tough, get serious, and be consistent. And within some time, all the site workers started to realize, I am going to be here every day. I am the one who has to make these approvals. I am the one who's going to have to pay you. So if you don't listen, if you don't work with me, if we can't show up at the same time together, if we can't work together to achieve the desired goal, things will not work between us. And between the two of us, it's you who's going to go. And it takes a bit of time to build that confidence. I was like 22 or 23. And these are grown men, much bigger than me on a site. And I had to be firm with them. And if you show that you're scared or you're not sure, they see that and they sense that and they take advantage of it. So I had to realize that really quickly. And then soon I was very lucky to get a mentor who had worked in real estate for much longer than me. And she understood this because she's been working around men for so long. So I worked with her for 2 years and we had a real estate company. And I learned so much about how you have to hold your own ground, especially in these rooms full of men. Wherever we would go, we are the only two women. In our own office, someone would walk in, look for the man, go and sit. Hello, boss. I've come for this. You've walked past the two bosses to go and talk to a junior just because he's a man. And that shocked me so many times. I'm like, seriously? No one would just assume? And it's something that you had to get used to doing. And in every different environment I've worked in since, I always now am mentally prepared. Yeah. If it's a new environment, they don't know who I am, they don't know what I'm doing there. As soon as I walk in, they're just going to assume I'm either coming to take notes, or I've come to ask who wants tea, or I've come to sit on the side, and they're always very shocked and surprised. And also working with white people in Uganda, I have a lot of staff who are Muzungus, and sometimes I'll go to places with them, and they just assume the Muzungu is the boss, and walk past me, and it's the same thing as the attitude with men. And so you can't get angry all the time, I learned, but you also have to learn to assert your position in a non-aggressive way and not in a rude way, but so that people understand that they have to respect you in a certain way, because it's also now awkward for your staff, like the men who work for me, to now have to make decisions in front of me, yet they know they're going to have to come and ask me for approval. So you have to think about the whole environment that you're in. So I go in mentally prepared now if someone has never met me or doesn't know me. But I think very quickly now you can realize that I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm saying, I'm not here to take your notes within the first few sentences. And I think that assessing the room as you enter or planning before, it makes a big difference. I can't afford to enter a room and I don't know who I'm talking to and I don't know what the meeting's about. It will take me maybe 6 meetings to recover from that because I am a woman, because of my age. So I always have to go in prepared and confident, even if I'm not 100% confident inside. Because sometimes I have to enter meetings, I don't know the industry very well, Google it quickly, read the document or the email. Hello, I'm here, how do we move forward? You just have to get through that part quickly. Because the longer you stay in that limbo of they're not sure, do they trust you, maybe they should call your dad and first double check or get approval from some other man, it wastes everyone's time and it just frustrates the process. So I feel like I take it upon myself to get through that process faster. The sooner they understand that they have to deal with me, there's no going around me, and we have to be upfront, honest, and give the information to each other, the sooner we all move forward.
That is quite interesting. We've seen you do a couple of projects ready to push for the females out there. We're talking about the HER project. What is the package in that project? Because people who have been following you, people who have, yes, maybe they haven't gotten the experience or shared the experience with what do you do with the HER project? Because we understand it's a project that is lifting the girl child, lifting the female, and many people who would admire to be in the business industry could not or couldn't manage or did not, the things of applying for this thing, and people don't get through. Because I have a friend who has applied for that and she didn't go through. She's not in the program class. So, and she was wondering, and people were wondering, what is in that project? Are we really going to get what she is, or is she going to give us what she is, the skills she had? What is in the HER project?
So I started HER as a program in my personal time. It's a personal project I do. It's not to do with my work.
Yes.
Because I think I've been given so many opportunities and pushed into so many situations. I've had to learn really fast. And the more I interact with women in Uganda, I see the potential, I see the spirit and the spark and the passion in them, but sometimes it's tools or opportunities or confidence that's holding them back. So I think because I was fast-tracked through this, there's a lot I can share with women my age and younger than me to help them fast-track through that. I'm sure with time, all of us get put into different kinds of situations. Many of us are given opportunities, but sometimes you have to take it upon yourself to be more proactive about your career, your life, your business. And so that's what HER is about. So we made it so that we can filter, because firstly, a lot of men keep applying for the program. It's for women, people. It's for women. So we have to put some barriers. And also we ask some questions to assess who has the time, the commitment, the energy, the attitude, because we move as a community. HER is not about one-on-one time with me and different ladies or girls. It's about us working as a community to support each other as women, to share knowledge, to share ideas, to share tips, to share challenges. I can share my own experience. I share a lot of videos, of articles, different resources, things I've read, things I've watched, things I think about, things that have helped me, different examples. But it's not just me to share. We share together so that we can discuss these things. We can see how to support each other. Someone can give an example of how they're having this problem at work. I made a sexual harassment in the workplace video because of someone in the HER group. She was talking about the problems she's having and she didn't know how to solve them, how to go about it, and I was so frustrated for her. And we all spoke about it and I was like, you know what, I'm going to make a video. And at that time, I was making 1 or 2 minute videos and I talked so much in the video, it was like 7 minutes long and I was like, what to do? You post the video, no problem. Because it was such a contentious issue that so many women are dealing with. So I just feel like it's a platform where we can share with each other and push each other. And that's why it's important for me to curate it, because I don't have so much free time because of work. I have to keep it small enough that I can manage it and I can give my time and attention, which, for example, this month I haven't been able to give much because I've been so busy. But we engage and we are open and honest. And it's also a platform for the ladies to share their businesses or references or say what they're looking to do or how they want to grow. We can hold each other accountable, set our own goals and targets. And it's a nice group, I think, because it's a different kind of support system. Ladies usually have friends. but your friends seem to be people who are similar to you in your age group, in your workspace, with your same education level, with the same sort of ideas and dreams. So it's important for us to network with people who are not like us. And when we did a meetup for her, for example, some of the younger ones who just had kids were asking some of the older ones who are working with children, how are you doing it? Because they are struggling so much, and they can see these and when I say older, the oldest is like 13. And she's like, no, I have 3 kids, and this is how I manage with work, this is how I manage at home, this is how I do this. And you could see it was useful for both parties. I don't have kids, so I can't help you with that. I can help network you with someone who is ready to give the experience and time to help you through this. And it's that kind of a community. That's the value for me. Because when women can come together to support each other and network and share, then we can all take steps forward.
Well, so was that the first class, or you get 2 classes?
I wouldn't call them classes.
The program.
We have cohorts. So we have 2 different groups, which are we keep the ladies in groups so we can talk to each other and communicate one-on-one and in groups together, so that it's honest and it's me who's actually communicating. And we have 2 separate ones because we had done the program and we had started doing it, and then I don't know what video or something went online and I got so many more requests, so I was like, okay, we can start another group. But I'm trying to contain it so that it's manageable, because it's also something I'm learning. I've never done this before, so I'm learning as I go and trying to make it as useful as possible.
Well, thank you so much. I think we're going to hold it there and go for the other commercial break, but we do return back. You're still watching Her Moment. Enjoy the rest of the program.
Thinking, someone who is a prepared person, who does research, who thinks about what they're going to say, who writes out questions in advance, you perform so much better. I've had interviews where someone has no idea what they've come to interview for, but I've had interviews where the person has researched even me as a person, because they researched the company, they know I'm the person going to do the final interview, and they've learned what I am like. It makes a world of difference, not just for something to talk about, but it shows the level of thinking. I can count on this person more. When I ask them questions in the interview, they can plan for things. You can see they've thought it through. When you show up for a meeting and you don't know what the agenda of the meeting is, how are you going to add value? How are you going to show your worth and show why you deserve to be there? It's so important to be prepared, and being prepared costs nothing but time. So these days you have something as simple as Google. Find out where you're going. If you're writing a cover letter, write it suited to the company that you are applying for. If you're applying for jobs in all different sectors, you cannot use the same cover letter. If you're going to make a presentation, do not just physically make the presentation and be like, okay, I'll figure it out. Practice it. Get someone's feedback. See if it's the right thing. Are you doing it in the right way? Is it answering the right questions? It's so important to be prepared. Even every morning, you should know what you're going to do that day. What are the important tasks? Where are you going physically? What is needed of you? Do you need to plan in the morning that I need to buy milk on the way home? You need to be able to